All right, hello, it's your boy Dan Stabber here, back with a little bit of the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. This is whoa. All right,
Okay,
new content.
So far, it's an elevator. Nothing
New
special
content.
yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
All right,
Is it broken?
yeah, that's what
What's
I'm thinking.
going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Or, oh, here we go. All right, finally,
Onwards.
at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Give me the content, Stanley. I just want to say I've been very critical of this in these first two episodes so far because I thought it was the exact same game at first. But seeing this is kind of it's like they almost expected it, I should say. Oh.
All right. All right, let's see. It's
The jump
the
circle.
jump circle.
Oh, you can actually jump in this? You can't jump while you're outside of it. Oh my god. Oh my god, what a ridiculous ass thing. Again? And look, you can't do it outside of it. That's hilarious. This is the new content. This is the content we've been looking for. Huh? Oh. Can't do it anymore. The jump circle. That totally looks like YouTube's like font. Well, that was.
Is that it?
That's what I'm saying.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Something else. Like takes me right back to the beginning.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
Yes.
If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new
Revolutionary.
content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more.
1,000 hours of new content?
Yes. I knew there had to be something else.
That would be
Let's see
amazing.
it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Oh my god. This is amazing.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley?
Stanley,
This
don't
is
you
what
see?
happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Get a little burner account.
It's my fault, Stan.
We're gonna check the achievements on this game real quick. It actually does have a testing it has a test achievement, please ignore. It's like why would I even think that wasn't real?
I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations.
You said you had 1,000
If you're
hours
still
for
with
us.
me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Nothing, because Stanley doesn't talk. Okay, we're restarting this bad boy, dude. I'm loving this already, because it's just like it just made you think like they really do that much. Oh, interesting. All right. Huh.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Do I have to go that way? Oh, I have to go down? Oh, I wanted to go the other way.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be?
It's
Well, it got me
terrible.
thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little
Whoa.
secret. Take a look.
Whoa. Ow.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Wow, just take this in for a second. Those hills are definitely not drawn in Microsoft Paint, that's for sure. Definitely, not at all.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap Xbox port? Remember back in October of 2013?
I
when
bought
the
this
game
on
originally
Xbox, that's
launched?
funny.
Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
That's kind of cool. They're putting all the what? The British Academy of Film and Bruce Stanley, The Last of Us. That's funny as hell. That's funny. That's an award for The Last of Us, but it's what is this? This is kind of cool. I didn't play it back then, but I recently played it. Like, I played it, like, within the last year. Wow. Whoa, what's this? Oh, I was about to say, I was like, can I just, like, play the demo right now? That'd be... Don't play for 5 years. See, if I would have had the original Stanley Parable, I would have gotten that achievement. Little Stanley. Oh. I don't know the story behind that, so it's not as sad as it probably should be, but, you mean tell me I can just come out here and... Why wouldn't it let me go over here? Sit down. What's that off in the distance? Is that a piano?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing.
Don't you see,
It's no
Stanley?
games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
An hour? Just that's it? That's all we got? 1 hour of elevator? Whoa. Can't go down there, apparently. Alright. Why would they have that right there? Go. Person of the year. Oh, I remember those buttons. Game sure is taking me down memory lane.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content.
This is just their way of telling us.
All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition
this
along
is
to
their
the
way of
Xbox.
telling us that
Boom,
they didn't want to add
done.
stuff to it.
And they couldn't even do that.
And that
couldn't
they
resist
didn't.
the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Wait, that's this door open. The serious room. Let me in there. What am I doing now?
These were simpler times, Stanley.
Oh.
What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh, it's just the way out.
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
This is... They talk about the good ones and then they're just gonna blast everybody that gave them a bad one.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining.
Played it for 3 hours, though.
Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny.
Unfunny?
I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Dude, this is wild. They're just calling out all of the people that gave them bad reviews.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear
Is that the
games,
same person?
this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley?
Shaft?
I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to.
Right?
These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
9.8 hours on record.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley.
Anything
Yes,
for the
a
customer,
skip button
Stanley.
we shall have.
Ah, skip button.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245.
What is he talking about?
The logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years. Until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do... Stanley! Please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Jesus.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really
All right, let's look
longer.
at the time.
My God, there's no way out of the room.
Like what, 3:15?
Stanley, the door is gone. It's Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're
Oh,
back.
shit. It did, actually.
Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley,
I think it's been a week, Stanley.
Well, 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing.
Exactly, that's kind of how it's always been.
It's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it is... Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through.
Oh,
I've had
my gosh.
so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome.
All right.
It was divorced in...
He just wanted it again. That's what he wanted. What's it been, like 5 years? He's not even here anymore, right? Kind of what I'm thinking. Hello? Hello? Oh, maybe he did leave. Oh, the fucking batteries on the fire alarm are out. And wouldn't you know? Wouldn't you fucking know that there is no way to get up there? That sound is annoying. Bye-bye.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us.
It just keeps
It
going
wasn't
on.
enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone
Don't
can
just sit
leave
here
a
and
review.
listen to this.
So here's what we get.
It done? This is just going on and on. It's fucking hilarious.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
I heard some water. Is there something back here? Oh. They're starting to... That means, this place is gonna be filled up with water here soon? Oh. Even worse. Did I finally get out of this? Guess not. Oh. Where'd that ladder come from? That would have been useful to take the batteries out of the fire alarm. Wow. Now we're just skipping, like, literally, like... We've got to be, like, 20 years now. How old is Stanley now? Oh. Now we're back to... Hello? I don't fuck with the Minecraft, like, cave noises. That's a little too much for me. Oh, the buttons broke. Whoa, this is, like, disorienting. Does it pop up again? Alright. We don't have anywhere to go. Alright, we're gonna end this episode here. Wow! What the hell is going on? We'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.